Good morning, my guys. What is up? How are you doing? Yeah, I just woke up a few hours ago, had breakfast, did a nice meditation I do right now all the day. It's called the Vipassana meditation. It really works out well for me for being more mindful and be really present afterwards, which is, of course, highly appreciated. It's 25 minutes though, so it's a bit longer than what I usually did of 10 minutes, but maybe it's why it's working. Yeah, and it's running, so now I'm ready to rumble. Let's see what we can do today. Yesterday lost, I think actually only $600. I thought it was 700, but looked at my balance, it was actually only $600 less. Even though it looked for me like it was minus 700 when I looked at PokerCraft. Yeah, but let's, like always, focus on the process. And we did like 2 or 3 hours of poker yesterday, was good. I think the play was also decent, at least. I mean, it's usually like this that I'm usually actually satisfied with what I did. Sometimes some smaller things. Like yesterday, we bluffed on the river. Bluff shove didn't work out. Well, I could have considered a tiny bit more practice in, but it was absolutely fine. A second nuts. Hmm, it's not the dream. Yes, some ace of clubs, but still. I'm going with the prank call. Let's burn some money. It's always nice to burn some money. Green player will just have it. But I have a very strong hand, of course. I thought maybe it's sometimes the ace of clubs thing, but don't mind just folding this hand there. Almost made a good fold. You saw it was close. Thing is, we don't beat value. But if he says he has a better hand, he usually will have a better hand. Not awesome against a fun player. Looks like a lot like he has a medium strong hand. I think I will go for the check. And probably gonna call even. Net calls. Not going for sin value now with king queen. It's nice. Can take a note on this one. Snap call, fast bet, not all in. Pot on the river as a bluff. Yo, good morning. Sandgride, what's up? Nice to read that. Yeah, it's quite easy to get a Nesta. It's nice. So the road is free for us to crush the Vegas games. That's nice. That's nice. And I checked my microphone settings, and yeah, indeed it was bad as fuck. And I checked some old videos, and it was good. And yeah, switched it back now. I don't know what happened. It had something to do with RTX Voice, another program. I don't know. But I turned it off now again, and everything is good. So here we are now with a nice sound quality. Back in the biz, back in game. They still can have a jack or pocket tens. So far so good. We all almost folded even this one here. Went for the wrong results wise trying hero call. I got $175 in platinum reward for the last week. Haven't played too much, but how much did I play? Eight hours or 10 hours? Probably like 9 hours. Let's get rid of this table because I don't have time bank. I used too much of it for that Jack 9 suited flush hand. Would it check? 92, so check raise this one. Call for it or raise. So Duck Polk would be proud. Would a 78 for the river always bluff on a king or 10? And on another card, we have to see, I would say, mainly not. Preferring the queen, king, king 10, whatever. It went for it. But we still could do it a special exploit if we think there's a good reason. It looks a bit weak, I would say. Most people fast buy most of their good stuff on the flop, not checking a lot of sets or even queen jack suited. And when they bet on the turn, quite often even bet bigger than. So that's also why I thought I like to go for a little bit more often for the check raise. It is 0 EV continue against GTO 3 betting range. Which is probably not what is happening, so let's fold these close ones mainly, or at least more often. Oh, we got a follower already, Momo Cube. Welcome to the stream, my friend. I have to turn on the sound. There we go. Yeah, I think I play a little bit less hands when I play 6 tables of the regular ones, in comparison to 4 tables of Russian cash. I think that I play like the average was 630 an hour, which is not so much. Other regulars or streamers play a little bit more. And here I think it's more like 450 hands maybe, or 400. When I play 6 tables. 6 tables is really doable. And generally 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you for your follow. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. What will 9-10 offsuit bring us here? This big blind defense. We will find out. A very medium hand. Gonna go with a check. I learned this from Doug Polk 4 years ago. Can go for a check call. It's small. And bluff will be like 8-6 suited. Maybe even some ace highs. or 5 suited, stuff like that. I'll call this time. Oh, we have a little bit to work with in this multi-way pot. What will happen? We even have already 60% of a straight flush. I would appreciate a 4. 4 of spades. I think we could even bet this one low. Here. Do this. Why not? That was a double failure. He donked there with the value, but on this run out, I just call. It's not even betting all in on the river. Yeah, I just call. Maybe we could think about folding the flop. Hmm. So far, we are almost plus 200. Have to deduct a bit and rake, tiny bit. Now it gets a bit tricky here, my friends. Oh, the bluff now is our bottom range. And yeah, switching between this size and bigger size. Woodlaw just gonna take this size. King Jack. Yaks. Okay. That's what you hope for, right? If you call with King Jack. Mhm. Interesting. We could even show. Usually, I don't really have a shoving range. But you could do it. Out of position, almost 3x here. Hoping obviously for a fold or call. Fold is the best. In the squeeze pot, we have more shows. I checked it actually a stream ago. Even not as a squeeze, you can shove there. It has the same EV. So I was still not doing it. Yeah, it's not about just for betting low or shoving. I think it's both fine. Calling also. But yeah, in a squeezed pot, I think I prefer. Don't have a 9. Nice. The shove. Actually, I'm gonna look it up later. I don't even know. Will to 100. He's kept. We can have all kind of sizes. Why? Why not? With 91 per river. We should check back some king tens on the flop. Usually people not doing this enough. I would say most people. I think we just fire a big one. What happened here? Let's check. Yeah, probably I called in the big blind. Um, could also be that small blind was big blind. He was sitting out. I think I will go for a very sneaky one. Dangerous, yeah. I I don't know. I saw a lot of people just betting even ace high there sometimes. And then when he has a missed flush draw or something like this, that's dangerous. I mean, I was blocking the ace high, so I thought, maybe it's more for these 10s, 9s at bet now. I think actually we sometimes check. Shall we do it? I would also low. All right, so call. Call. Not the run out. But a lot of stuff has good equity and against us. That's why we think sometimes check this. And gonna take our showdown value. Not gonna value bet or bluff. It's closer to a value bet for sure. Especially when he checks. Get a decent hand to bluff. But if he has this one, he has of course a lot to take from as a bluff, so it's fine to not always do it. But if he sees this, it gets more likely that he's not buffing enough robots, right? Got a bit more likely. Maybe this is a good 3-bet side out of position against this 3x open that is not full stacked. Standard is tiny bit more than 4x, but yeah. Was not a standard situation. Yeah, so far so decent. I'm quite satisfied so far with our decisions. And results also on our side, luckily. A lot of stuff to pick from as a bluff. We only have a bluff catcher, obviously. An unknown opponent from Japan. I would say we go with a Kalski and see where will this bring us. Quite good run out. Can have a lot of bluffs. Unknown. Who's probably a fun player. And therefore probably bluffing enough, maybe too much in this spot. I think I like the call. But here are the goods, here the set. That's a good hand. Five is 11 plus a little bit more. Yo, that's my man. Good morning, Fifth State. Hope you're good. How you doing? We have a little bit to work with. The queen's pre-flop already appreciated. Don't mind to get the direct EV here. And more to work with. Yeah, my standard is to just go 1/3 on the board paired. These paired boards. Paired boards. On this one, you could obviously usually have a bigger size, but I haven't implemented it yet. It would just be one click away, right? And I think exploitively it would also make more sense usually. Especially on this spot. So now I wrote really big, and yeah, obviously we can have huge sizes. Polarizing now. Ace king, ace queen. Pocket threes maybe. I think just gonna go with a huge one. Not to shove, could also shove. There'll be snaps with ace queen or ace jack. And if he shoves now, we just end the stream directly and go to bed. 12 hours early, 11 hours early. And cry. Alright, that's it, my guys. Thank you very much for watching. Easy, guys. Just fold. We can continue, no problem. Good thing is we have some snaps also. If he made a good bluff there, well done. Could he be shoving less like ace queen? Nope. Probably the fold is easier than it looks like. When you have thoughts in your mind like, oh, close to top range here. Yeah, Eurogen is quite nice, and it's for free, I think. Still, don't pay anything, so it's good. Can recommend. Right now, I just play six. Sometimes I play another one, or maximum two more down there. But yeah, mainly six. Ah, we are even blocking ace eight suited. Against players who are capable of bluffing. It's really close. Because he's not calling ace eight offsuit, probably. I mean, if he's loose. It's a zero EV call against another gun. Could even be losing tiny bit here with a rake. I think most people will just whoops fold it. Yeah. He's not having eights. He's saying he has ace six suited, which we obviously also block. Yeah. He's having three combinations of sixes. He's not calling with threes. It's a sick fold. I like it. Could be having ace three suited. No. Blocking it, right? Blocking it all. Offsuit, maybe? Not really. Okay, actually, he can have, of course, one combination of a6 suited. But that's it. The a6 of hearts, pocket sixes, four combinations. And what would be a good bluff? I mean, you need to have something that arrives on the river. So flush draw, a good one, like king, queen of spades. Just an ace, random ace, ace 10. Yeah, more often raise this one here. Because we are free rolling against other king tens. Too bad he didn't have ace ace, for example. Or jack jack. Hmm. Goes. Go with it. I'm just gonna call here. This time he was a bit deeper. Do we have any notes? Nope. Half size is already a little bit bigger. We can raise the flop. Or call. Mm-hmm. Not a good river. What about betting even smaller? Because he sometimes has aces or kings. Yeah. Just fold. What do you mean? You like the fold or you don't like? I guess solver is probably quite often in this one hand showing the river. Also, in our shoes. Let's look this one up later and see how much this fold loses against GTO opponent. I think not so much. I mean, our hand, especially with the ace king of diamonds, is really good to call. But I think ace king in general is not that good because he's not showing any worse. Also, the solver. Except something else is going on, like maybe he can actually shove ace queen because our ace king always shows ourselves on the river. Maybe something like this going on. I'm gonna look it up later. But yeah, in practice, this is just a complete bluff catcher. And probably he's not bluffing enough. Yo, Paga La Fanta. Thank you very much for your follow. Appreciate it. I know it's already 9 minutes ago, but looks like my sound is not working. Quite a good board. Usually shouldn't hit this really well. But in practice, when he's a fun player, probably does. I rolled high again. Barrel another one. And just keep on barreling on a diamond. Can the power of kings bring us? Probably not a fold, as long as what my notes say. Yeah, can bet small check. Yeah, happily check. Hope he's not having ace-8 suited. He could think about turning this into a bluff. But he also has some pocket 8s, 7-8 suited, 4-5 suited. So I would say he prefers. No, it's fine. Could think about check bluffing this one. Less likely, less inclined to do it against fun play, obviously. He's kind of capped, but yeah, let's not bluff this one ever. Even prefer pocket 3s who can get a full house. Just fold, easy fold. A little bit big this size. An easy check. Especially when we bet so big on the turn already. An actual graph. Yeah. If you go to my blog, then you can go to. I would go to. This is the most complete one. 2021. I think this is Russian cash in the first 9 months or something like this. Where we have to deduct a lot of rake though. This is without rake. Yeah, in the end I won $43,000 in 2021. I ran under EV, how much? 12,000. But in the beginning of this year I ran pretty much 12,000 above EV again. Roughly. See? This year is good. We played extremely sneaky, guys. We just gonna call. Never lucky, never lucky, never lucky. Betting small or check. I think I'm gonna go with this check Scorino. Probably a good flop for me, actually. He still has a lot of ace kings, of course, and he will not bluff enough later, probably. I think I'm gonna actually proceed with one call. Problem is, if he has an ace of spades, then we have a problem. He might be shoving it. I'd say we just fold. Yeah, it's not a dream spot. Usually we would just go down. with the 100 also. And our bluffs are, I think, like ace check, ace queen with vectors, something like that. Problem is, of course, that is for betting ranges usually value heavy, but I think on the spot and wanna just rip it in and hope for fold. Yeah, looks like he has king then. Maybe he's net rolling his pocket queens. Nice. We get the fold. Could even think about having a smaller raising range, then putting some raise folds in there, like ace five of diamonds. It didn't show pre-flop and called it quite loosely. Maybe king queen suited. Actually, let's look it up. I think even if we don't have a shoving range, it will be almost the same EV. They're out of position in forward pot. And when he was taking so long, I guess he has ace king. Easy call against a small size. I think I'm gonna bet check this one actually. And if he shows, we're actually in good shape. If he finds some hands that yeah, have a good combo draw, like 10 jack of clubs or whatever. This is a good ripper. Could be even showing ace jack of diamonds on the turn. So that's why I bet there. Actually, I would like to see if Troy was ever checking their hand like this. Okay, take a screenshot of the pocket 9 cent and the king 10 suited hand for the turn. So we already have 4 hands to look up already later after the stream. Fast with GTO Wizard. There should be a tiny bit of EV GTO wires and then close. I say this often. In practice it's close, and he's a potential fun player. And he's not having huge formatting size. I mean, he's 3x open, so it's still a lot what we put in here. Okay, his bluffs got there. Except that king, queen, king, jack suited that he's probably missing. Just gonna open fold this one. Even though I think we are GTO-wise mixing. Some calls, I guess. Low frequency. Which means it's obviously 0 we call. Why is Kaiten streaming his challenge? Yeah, it's unlucky. I also enjoy watching it. I mean, from time to time I take a look ski. Which leaderboard position did he get? I hope he managed to get in the top 3. Not a good river. We still win against some stuff. He bets easy snap. That's Scarino Fortsky. I mean, we could check which place he did get yesterday. Okay, like you can see, we have a little bit to work with. Work high, will not check raise. Sometimes check call. Directly bet, hold it 25. Could actually go for a check. And roll to 87. I feel like a bluff showing this one. Okay, now we need checks. Yes, some jacks. In general, I think it's quite a decent hand still for us. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with a big bet. 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll to 96. We bet the flop, right? So I guess we sometimes want to have some shows here. Nice, first bluff got through. What about the second one? I think he opened pre-flop and went for a check call. I think he might think, would we bluff only with the ace of clubs? Probably not. And it's a pure bluff catcher. Not winning against value. You might think it could be. And you think we're probably not checking a lot nuts on the turn. Unluckily, he had quite a strong hand, but still just a bluff catcher. We have straight flush also, both combinations that might check the turn. And then sixes, sevens, sometimes check, fives. We have a decent amount and have to look out to bluff enough. And with a 6-7, awesome hand to bluff. Board high, I like the big size. And yeah. I like it. We lose all. Still, that's how it is. Take a note. The sand on him. Oh, we have value. Here's a lot of ace queens, which is good for us. Ace six suited. It was this I Wonder guy, right, who called us? That was a high number. I'm gonna bet lower here. I mean, he didn't even have top range. He had pocket sixes, as I would say, is top range. Really good to block that when you shove there. Yeah, I like it. Okay, yesterday Kaito only got 8, so seems like it's not wasn't running so well yesterday, unfortunately. What I will try again. Okay, now we have a little bit. Win again, it's ace jack, ace 10. Still have to watch out to have enough bluffs here, but yeah, I'm gonna not bluff this one here. Maybe some 9-8, 9-7 now. Now we even have a straight, like we say in Germany. Not easy to have enough bluffs. Yeah, even the 9-8, 9-7 got there. I will go for a tiny bet. I could also go for the check call, obviously, to get bluffs for ace jack, but this is really happening enough? Probably not. And bluff here. We're quite high, so I would say yes. Could make sense, loop out. I mean, if you're streaming it, it's distracting a little bit, and yeah, to increase your AV, guess it could make sense to, and sometimes stream less when it's not running great. I can understand. Mladenovsky, thank you for your follow, appreciate it. Looks like you enjoyed the all-in show for there. I kinda. I have very mixed feelings. Results-wise, it's on the one hand, and not results-wise, which is important on the other hand. So everything is good then, actually. All right, haven't heard this one yet, Mr. Xerizer. Good to know. It's a picture I appreciate to have in my mind. Yeah, traffic controller. All right, let's take a short break. Let's see how much we're down now after this miserable all-in show of Scarino. Right low will not show. Usually I do a shoving range here. Cutoff is but with jacks and ace kings. Because Salva is doing, why not? Yeah, gonna bet. And put me on some more waiting lists here on the side. Tables are not bad today. Even on a Monday, guys. 2 p.m. But it's evening in Asia, right? Why risk so much with a 7-6 shove against a loose player? Yeah, good question. Probably a lot of people are asking this themselves. So my opponent was, I don't know so many about him. He's multi-tabling, so I think he's a regular. And yeah, the thing is, we want to be kind of balanced with our shows, otherwise people can just fold to us when we put money in the middle. We want to be balanced and as a foundation at least, and then we can divide from the strategy if we have certain reads on our opponent. I don't have it. I just play normal against opponent I don't know a lot. And I think this is the right strategy. Actually, if you never bluff there, yeah, you're just unbalanced and your average opponent, I think, will kind of understand it, even at NL 200 here. So this should be the foundation of the strategy, to be bluffing there enough and think about your bluffs. And then later divide from it if you think your opponent is calling too much, which is usually happening against fun players, but also not all. Yeah, that's why I'm shoving there. And it's not working out, but it will work out again when he calls slider against us. He should be doing when we have the value. Yeah. On the other hand, it's important to know that a lot of people just think like you in this regard and don't want to risk too much, and therefore they exploit it. If your opponent is showing there, people usually don't bluff enough, and you can make a lot of tight folds that are usually sometimes bluff catcher or bluff catchers with just a low amount of EV gain that you can just fold according how strong your read is, that your opponent is bluffing too little. I already did some of those this stream. Yeah. Gonna take a small break. And I see my old friend Punip on the chat again. I love to see it. Welcome, welcome. I will grab a tea. See you soon again. Let's see how much we're down. Should not be so much. There was not only bad stuff happening. So you want to see graph? You're gonna see a graph of today. Paid 700 hands, so we have to deduct $130. Nice. And actually, really felt a little bit like this. We had no all in. So we are plus. We were actually plus more before this stuff. But we had to bluff. Couldn't help ourselves. But we already know. We have discussed this. We liked it. We appreciate it. It's just part of the process, my guys. Maybe this is going on. Yeah, no all in yet. It felt a little bit weird today. Very different. Like no all in was happening. King Bill. Let's join King Bill from Germania. Fuck balance. Okay. Yeah, fuck this table, I would say, and take this one. The bad beat jackpot is a little bit lower now. Hate to see it. Yeah, that's a good point. Mr. Das Sphinx. If I would also do it with my value hands. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense to do it as a bluff then. And yeah, because he's capped, I can have shoves there, like I said, with value. I mean, I first off say what my valiants want to do, and then build my bluffing range around it. So I'm pretty sure we can have shoves there, GTO wise. We can actually look it up later, also, for sure. And then exploitively, we have to think, do we want to have more shoves or less? The answer is usually even more, because some of your smaller raises, they get their EV. From the bluffs, from his bluffs that are usually less. In case they are more, certain players maybe even bluff more. It's very rare, but some fun players, for example, then you want to have more the smaller size. So exploitively, usually you have even more the huge size. I think I 3-bet here. So yeah, I would have shoves there. I think it's important with value. This is trying bluff with small size against one player. Worked out even. crying bluff. It's actually a nice phrase. Yeah, we have a hand. I think I got a slow play. And hope for a miracle. Oh, I have a 100 here, nice. Imagine! He could have it, he could have it. He has one combination of sevens. You maybe play it like that. And we would lose against pocket sevens. We would lose against it. We would be the huge winner. Yes, of course, like, he has a 75 here, like 800 other hands that is not pocket sevens. And it's pre-flop range. Never lucky. Would have gotten 13,000? We could sometimes raise it up. Say we have 4-5. Can fold or call. I'm gonna go with a call. Good thing is we realize more often on the river, I guess. Most players. Any tips to empty the casino? Okay. Real questions getting in. Looks like we are losing this spot here. Could even sometimes show. But when people are more value heavy with these sizes, let's do it less often. Didn't roll very high. Yeah, you have to see yourself in the process, in the activity of emptying the casino. You have to visualize yourself in it. This is the way. This is how you do it. I see myself folding. Oh, I'm a little bit hungry already, but that's not a problem. Guess I'm gonna end the stream in maximum an hour. What does he have? I guess a flush draw. Oh. Oh, it was so close. Imagine a 10 there. I would have gotten $1,000. It actually happened a few days ago. 2 or 3 days ago. It was on stream even. And bad beat jackpot happened. It was also on the down left table. I just saw plus $1,300 for everyone that participated, but I set out one hand before. Didn't get anything. Sometimes call and sometimes raise. I rolled high. Let's take a screenshot of the 6-7 offsuit hand. So I can look it up soon. Visit your wizard. That's where you'll be happy about lost hand indeed. Yeah, I win. I won one actually in the beginning when it was harder to get. What was it? I think I had quads. And my opponent had ace king and had ace, 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 king, king. Somehow he didn't even raise shoved in the river with second nuts. Which was actually good. He lost a tiny bit less, but yeah, and I won $10,000 there. It was cool. Oh yeah, I have it actually on my desktop. I can show you. Here, what? He ace, 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 king. He got 32. So yeah, now it's easier to get the bad beat jackpot. You get a little bit less, so, but yeah, you also pay a lot of bad beat jackpot break all the time. So you get paid with your own money. Actually, I don't like the bad beat jackpot. It's just increasing the variance. Yeah, it's still a bit fun though. But I would prefer not having it. One time I was playing NA 500 and the bad beat jackpot was very big in the beginning. I would have gotten $120,000. And my opponent went all in with quads on the turn. And I had a set, lower set. So I had one out. Also quads. Lower quads against bigger quads. We are trying to bluff our fun player. Looks like he is like 8 jack, I would have said. Yeah, but also he sees it's not easy to have a lot of bluffs there. Will not bluff a lot, but deuce 3, deuce 4. We could sometimes raise bluff this one. But against fun player, I wrote high though. Can't do it this time. Look, guys, we win with a bluff. It's a fun player. We could go for a tiny bet or check. Sometimes raise bluff this one, obviously. Or call or fold. I think call is the least attractive. Very small bet though. I think the best bluffing hand is like ace deuce, king deuce. Having a deuce is really nice. You could sometimes be trapping with pocket deuces, but actually probably never doing it. So I think it's not important at all. But it would be slightly better. And now we have to think about how we want to proceed here. Check it down. Zero really 3 bet. Gonna do it this time. We'll take a note that he's not bluffing. Hmm. I'm gonna go for a sneaky call. Maybe shoves. Usually I don't do this. Hmm. I'm not gonna keep on bluffing now when we have value. And having just pocket deuces and the stuff to bluff. Looks a lot like this, yes. We try to get a 7. Now we don't even have the nuts on a 7. I'm gonna fold. Was not bluffing the last time. I think I'm just gonna fold. I think implied odds are also not great. This time he was bluffing. Hmm. On the other hand, he never expects us to have a ace king. So on a jack, implied odds against him is really good if he has a king. I think actually I like a call then, but not so important. Yeah. I'm gonna call. Against a normal size, it would be a 4-bet or fold. But against a smaller, we call more, and I think we wanna call more in general against fun player. Potential fun player. Especially in position. Looks like he has a worse hand. I think I'm just gonna bet. Even though it's a good hand to also check. Especially with the ace of hearts, but they're gonna do it. Here we have ace queen. Good call. He has a lot of stuff that has a gut shot. Manda, king jack, queen jack, ace 5 suited, and jack suited. Pocket jacks. These are all hands e3. Let's pre-flop. Yeah. I'm gonna go with a check this time. Check is of course better if He's bluffing on the river. He's fun. Potential fun player at least. Oh, nice. He goes for a little 10 per. Love it. Value raise. Looks like we are in front. And yeah, you're kind of kept. So he should find some bluff shows also. What will happen? Our hand looks a lot like Ace Jack Ace Queen. Because we have Ace Queen, guys. He didn't go for a bluff shove, that's for sure. We had a nice hold here, appreciate it. Yeah, the good thing about my stream is the settings are good again. I think good sound and no lags. And you directly see the consequences there. More follows now. Looks like he has pocket fives. We're gonna go for a value bet. I wrote high, our head likes protection. Bet this time. La la la. Shall we open this? It's a bit loose. But he's a potential fun player, so let's open. Our IV comes from the fun players. Am I right? For getting all in on this flop with ace-2 suited, for example. Ace, ace, 5. Yeah, gonna go with a very low bet. Let's do a 25% bet. Dry board. Good flop for us. I guess he may have more ace kings than he should be, which is of course not great for us. He should call still with most of his pairs. Could be good against our Jack 9 suited, 3 red bluffs. King Jack suited. Maybe some offsuits. And yeah, he can even get there. I think a lot of people already folded a decent amount of those. And yeah, now he could be start bluffing some of those. I would prefer the lower ones, like pocket sevens, fours, if he has it. Sometimes he floats some king queen suited with backdoors. I mean, we block this with a flush draw now with a king queen of clubs. And yeah, this is kind of a problem already, but with queens especially, I'm gonna proceed one time. Really good to block ace queen. But yeah, could be very likely that we are in trouble. Yes, we are officially in trouble now. Have a decent hero calling in. I would say we just fold. Just gonna fold. Sometimes yes, one of those bluffs. I think usually not likely enough. Good donkey, very small. Mainly fold, but we think about it. Against a fun player there. I think he could find some bluffs. We have good odds. Only has to work like 25% of the time. Is he bluffing here? 25% of the time. Very close. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with it. Sometimes he's randomly bluffing like ace-5. That could also go for a call. And it's actually exactly what's happening. Like he's randomly bluffing a value hand. That could go for a call. I mean, maybe it's fine, but all right, we got the money. We got the money, guys. That's all we want. Is it worse to play for GG Poker Leaderboard? I did it for a decent amount of time. Depends if it's comfortable for you to play a lot of hours. I think if yes, then it's a decent amount of extra money. you get there. But these very long grinding sessions, always a question if it's good for you. Also for if you're learning enough, you're playing so many tables. So I will be careful, but it's for sure an option. And with be careful, I would say to really watch out that you still think enough on the tables and study enough and yeah, do the things that are good long term. I rolled very high. I'm gonna do it this time, I think. Um, no, nope. Just fold. Wanna have some forward bluff raises. Some stuff with backdoors that could call or could also call or is close to a fold. But exploitively, I'm just gonna fold. I think his raising range is already a bit stronger than it should be. Let's check results for today. I have no clue. The last one we were $50 up, maybe, but now I don't think so anymore. Oh, nice. We're up. Just a bit, but we're up a little bit. $150 maybe. And here we think against a big size we can directly shove. The thing is, not even good against the big size. I'm very afraid that he's gonna call very often. Could even just call. Thought so that the big size is more value heavy. I could have just called then. And was also not too sure about it. Yeah, was all almost I called. Yeah, we have a lot of races on this lob with our range. Like 25%, maybe even 20%, and almost always race these ones. Yeah, it looked so much like a check back, right? Something that likes protection, like pocket sevens. Best thing is to just go for a huge bet, maybe even shove. I rolled high. Yeah. Remember the last time we did this, guys? We had a bluff. The good thing is we also had the same line against him before when we were bluffing. It's not good. I think we never win against him. Well, could it sometimes be a screen? Not really. Ah, I'm gonna do a sick fold. Thing is, he could call with worse behind and then um, actually some decent additional equity. But I like the fold. Will we see a showdown? No. The pot is very big. Was multi-way pot probably? Or did he isolate? I don't know. It doesn't matter too much. And we do like the last time. Hopefully we turn full house again. Old low, not always gonna bet. Oh, nice. I think I go in check call mode. Don't love it. Let him bluff. And gonna mainly bet big here. Never lucky. Was a high EV spot against fun player. Sometimes raise flush draws. More often the better your flush draw, the more often you raise it. That's a simple rule. Hold high here. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna call it a day soon. Yeah, let's call it a day and look up the hands that we have. But quick. Usually I am gonna analyze a lot doing the hand. I try to avoid it. Don't wanna analyze too much. Okay. These are the results. Have to deduct almost $200 in rake. So plus $100, get $50 in rake back, I guess. 200. So $150 plus. So another productive stream. Here we go, and I'm gonna look up some hands. This will be interesting, guys. Okay, I'll play this one. Disaster. Here we take a look. Okay. Oh no. Shit. Should have calculated this one in. Maybe we should just check shove. Because there's a chance that we could be timing out. Would be a bit thin though. I think I'm still gonna do it. He thinks, what the fuck? Good that he's not step calling. Could still have queens or kings. Interesting last set, right? All right. Let's take a look. This is our first hand. Oh yeah, it just was just a tiny thing. GTO Wizard. So what happened? I raised in the hijack and small blind called. I hope he has a squeezing range here. Okay, he squeezed. I had queens. I wanted to know if we shove more, and I thought yes with queens. Yes, exactly. Because usually you don't do it. Mixing shoves, calls, and four bets. And I said, I think when he squeezes, he squeezes also bigger. Want to have more shoves. Yeah, kinda right. but it doesn't matter. It's just mixing. All right. Good. Next hand. Ah, yeah, we made a sick forward. This will be very interesting again. We raised under the gun, and the big blind called, right? Yes. We had ace king of diamonds. The flop was pretty decent. Ace of clubs, ace of spades, six of spades. He checked. I said usually I bet 1/3 on these bet boards, but on this we have bet a lot with bigger range, with bigger size because it's so good. And yeah, looks like we are really not checking, but still using the smaller size very often. But therefore 100%. All right, all right. Yeah, I went for the third size, and he called. A six is mainly raising already. Okay, with a solver. I think he had one of those hands in the end. Solver won't have those. All right, up. The call, he called. Turn was a three of hearts. And I bet over pot. Around 50% pot. For sure thing, right? Um, so a lot of checking is going on. And yeah, a bit, but not so much. We have ace king. Hmm. Actually gonna mix everything. I would too often use a big size there. I think exploitively it's fine though. But yeah, a lot of half size, for example. So I used like this size. He called. River was an eight of hearts. He checks. I overbet slightly. Yeah, I said we probably have shoves otherwise. Looks like this is not true. But we have the big size, which we prefer to use. But less than pot though. I bet a little bit more than pot. Hmm. And then he shoved and I cried, of course. Oh yeah, the question is he shoving a screen there? Nope, never. He's even mixing folds. Wow. And even ace king is mixing. So exploratively, I like my fold then. And actually, I kind of overplayed in relation to solver my hand. Every street I took the bigger size. It's fine though. I think especially exploratively. Yeah. Then I like my fold in the end. I thought it would be very tight. Okay, let's say we take the normal size, the 22, and then he shoves. Still mixing. The thing is, our ace king of diamonds is probably the best to call because we block a6 suited. Um, yeah, ace8 suited and this stuff. But it looks like it's not a difference otherwise, so. Hmm. Cards. Okay, I don't know why. He's not preferring ace king suited of diamonds. I think it's not so important. The main thing is though that ace king is just mixing, even against solver. What are his bluffs, by the way? The big blind. Maybe, yeah, king, queen of spades. Okay, I thought about it. Blocking king, ace, queen. And yes, solver will have some 6x still. That are, of course, great block, having great blockers. Queen 3 here. Makes sense. 6-3, of course, awesome. But our opponent probably is folding just 6-3. Pre-flop or on the turn. Yeah. I like the fold. Next hand. Not go too deep into it. Ah yeah, it was a 4-bet pot. Very standard. Button raised. And we were in the small blind and we raised 9s, which is of course absolutely a thing. And button 4-bet. 4-bet. We have 9s, and yeah, I think it's a tiny bit of EV gain, 1.52 BP or something like this, solver wise. Let's check it. And then it's, yeah, it's only solver wise 1 BV. Only it's a bit, but it's a difference though between 9s and 10s. I would always fold these because their forwarding range will be stronger, of course, than usual. And solver, you could fold this actually. I went for a call though. And now the interesting one was the flop was good for us. 3. We are in front of ace king, which is very important, and some bluffs. We check, bet small. Yeah. How small did he bet? 1/3. Not so small actually. So he's mixing between 1/4, 10%. So it was a little bit on the bigger side, which made me a bit afraid already. And then I just went for the shove and said maybe we have a raising range, small raising range also, but I think it's not having a lot of EV difference. And I thought when we have shoves, then it's probably like ace jack, ace queen suited that don't float. It looks like it's not right. Okay, we still can shove, so it's the same EV. That's the most important one. But what are our bluffs then? Ah, the king queen suited. Okay, I actually called this one out. Like you can see, ace jack suited with the backdoors, what I said, is sometimes raising. Okay. So it's a fine plan to shove there. We went for the shove, he folded. Ace 3 is actually a decent hand there. I don't have it in my calling range, but yeah, I mean, you can get a 3. It's 2 outs. It's better than 9s. And then also the 3 overcut outs. With backdoors. Yeah, it's true, actually. It's true. Not so bad, not so bad. Let's say we would call only. And it's a blank. Check. That's usually like 1/4. Okay. Not so important. Let's go to the next hand. Yes. Another gun raised, and I 3-bet with king 10 suited, which is a thing. And I think he called. Yes. Another gun called, but he also has to forward some of this stuff here. But he called. Flop was king of clubs, 4 of clubs, 9 of diamonds. And he checks, and a good board for us. We bet a lot with our range. Sometimes check. Nope, not really. Sort like queens. Yeah, we bet 1/3. Yeah, that's why I thought a lot of 1/3, sometimes half. With king 10 suited of diamonds. So, but that's not so important. Yeah. I guess people are missing some of these bluff raises. No, okay, not this one with a nut flush draw. Ace jack of diamonds just folding. Wow, I would continue too much of these actually. And sometimes bluff raise. Small bluff raising like 8-9, like bluff raising also for protection set 9-10. It's just a very good board. We're not bluff raising so much, except for the very good draws. Alright, let's go ahead. He called. The interesting one was now deuce of diamonds, and I thought, shall we always want to bet our king 10 of diamonds, which now also have a diamond draw to it? Or do we sometimes check it? I think it's probably better to bet it a lot. It's mixing just. It's mainly betting. Mainly also my size, but it's sometimes checking actually, so it's not so important. And my plan was to probably actually check the river. Even on a blank. If he shows, I think we have a like crying call. Oh, it's having 12 EV though. It's not so little. So I think actually against players who can sometimes shove there with a combo draw, and probably having more of these ace queen, ace jack of diamonds, then it gets a little bit better call actually against people. Depending of course on your opponent. Okay, let's say he doesn't raise, he calls, and do we value bet on a blank river? Do we value shove? Good question. No, it's just a check. So I would have been right there. And king jack actually building a small betting range there. And then king queen plus just shows. Makes a lot of sense. Because opponent rarely has ace king. I mean, this is very intuitive. And bluffing this makes also a lot of sense. Blocking king queen king jack, except of course with the clubs. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that was really quick. Like I wanted to do this time, it worked out nice. Thank you very much for your follow, Belly. Yeah, it was a decent session. Was productive. We've made some money. It was fun. Thank you very much for watching. I wish all of you a great afternoon or evening or whatever. Wherever you are. Wish you the best, my guys. Peace out.